Because you got to get in there against the even Harrod. That's suicide.
Yeah. Oh, no.
The skill 2 is really more for protection.
Yeah.
It's like, if anyone reaches you, then you use that. You're not going to flicker forward and flicker. That's something I would do. But then there's a reason why I'm here. Not there.
Not there.
Not there.
Yeah, you want to give him a kiss with that skill 2.
Yes. Is it? It's not a kiss, though.
In Indonesia, we say...
It's a smooch.
It's a smooch.
Oh. He goes all the way.
Yeah.
Oh. It's a jump forward, but... Hey.
So usually you would say to your teammate, I got smooched by Brody.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I learned something new today. Okay, so that's going to be a new part of MLBB language, the smooch from the Brody. Speaking of the Brody... I feel like that could have been something else, but then I think in terms of the damage they were looking for, that was the pick left that they could go for. I mean, Granger was still open, but I feel like they weren't just confident to pick it up. But I feel like I would have preferred that over the Brody.
Yeah, I think ZETA was kind of set up in that specific space because most of the goal laners were banned out, right? The Moskov, the Claude, the Blinks we talked about.
Yeah.
Safety, as well as trying to pin down the Yves. But again, they were left without many options that I think would be viable. I think the Granger is a good shout, but...
I think the best choice was the Harith. Like, they could have picked that up before, right? Because Team Zone got the Harith last pick. It was the 5th pick of the game. They went Hayabusa, too, so it makes sense for you to go for the Haya Harith combo. But in the end, they went for Brody instead, maybe thinking, all right, we might have enough with just the Farsa for magic damage and, burst, so we might want to lean on more sieging power with the Brody.
Yeah.
But I think the Harith would have just been perfect for them, because it would have also denied the pick away from Team Zone.
Yeah. I think also maybe they were considering the fact that they didn't have enough protection for their backline, so they wanted to have a gold laner that had some sort of protection with the Brody smooch, but they just weren't able to get the ball rolling with it. I think if we're going to look at the next game and then the next draft, you really just have to change up your priorities. I don't want to say ZETA try the Boxer Roam anymore. I know they have a wider pool in the roam, but it just wasn't working out well for them.
I mean, I thought if they want to, I thought that if they wanted to pick up the Baxia, it would have been a Baxia jungle, and then you pair it with something pick off-ish in the roam, right?
Yeah.
Usually you go with the Baxia Franco, but again, this meta doesn't really reward you with that. So yeah, they were forced to kind of put the Baxia in the roam, and I don't think it's that valuable.
They tried to juke, but they didn't juke us, right? Like, all the way from the start as well, it's like, it's a shame for Ten to not be on an Assassin, for him to be on a Baksha. And that's why, for Team Zone, they were like, yeah, we feel the same way. That's why we picked up the Phobies. We know it's coming. Yeah. Whatever it is, whether it's going to be a Haya, a Lance, or maybe a Ling that just got buffed, we're going to have something to prepare. And if they don't, fair enough. It's 10 on a utility pick. It's something that they are okay with.
Yeah. I feel like because of what we saw in that game number 1, now it's ZETA that has to do so much of recalibrating. Because if they're going to lean on a Baksha pick, there's no more surprise factor. Clearly, Zone is ready to do with it if it's going to be in the roam. If it ends up in the jungle, then you're sort of nerfing what the jungler can do. And because of everything that happened in the center of the map, it's Kenny who walks away with the MVP honors, deathless. Because again, he had a good time in this game. There was no one who could really mess with him other than that Yuzhong.
Yeah, Brother Man was chilling playing chess with Magnus Carlsen in the back with the checkerboard we had.
He even came late.
He did. I think it was a Queen's Gambit he was playing, but yeah, we might just give it to Zexora. Some might say give it to Zexora, but I think Kenny here deserves it as well. He was dealing for his team. It was outputting damage, and we talked about him being the weak link here because in the side of ZETA they had that Yuzong to dive into the back to Hayabusa too. But he was still able to stay deathless while peeling for his team as well. So I think he deserves it more than ever in this regard for that MVP.
Yeah, I feel like there was a great connection between Kenny, Bright, and Bankai together because you saw Bright and Bankai in some of the clips that you're seeing right now actually take turns in terms of protecting Kenny. It's like, okay, if it's Bright who initiated, then Bankai stays a little bit back, get a Dark Wave off so that you can heal a little bit for the Eve, and vice versa.
Yeah. A lot of moments like this where you just see the brilliance of Kenny here. The RWMs are so good. Look at the zoning, right? Yeah. Onto Buimina. He can't walk up there. And it was constant taps onto that direction before he actually flickers out from the Furious Dive. So Kenny's very aware of what he needs to do to make the front to back work so that the Harrod and the Yi Sun Shin gets maximum output of damage.
Even sad state of affairs there.
Look at that.
The zone. Another great real-world manipulation. Yeah, well-deserved MVP as we see a lot of these clips. And I think because of how he was able to catch other members, it also enabled Zexora to have moments such as that.
Yeah, it's like a ping pong game. One player enables someone else. While they're enabling that player, they're also enabling someone else. So it's a harmonious chemistry, I would say, with the set of heroes that they've picked and their playstyle too. And you can't really walk up against an RWM as a Brody, right? Not the best range you would have. So that was very, very punishing, this Eve pick. And he was still going for the conventional build as well, the glowing one for his item.
Yeah.
So yeah, it still works for Team Zone at least.
I think also because they just knew, especially after the initial trade, after the first minion wave came out, it's like, yeah, I think we can afford to just first build the glowing one. It's gonna be fine. They also knew that ZETA Division were lynching a lot of their team fighting abilities through the revitalize of that Baksha. So it makes sense that they wanted to go for it right away.
Yeah, and it's also basically something that you can see with this kind of composition, right? Because when you already have a Phobius and a Kalea with 3 damage dealers, you don't want your Phobius and your Kalea to build dominant sides. You want them to get some core tanky items, the other ones. And you can definitely see it here. For Bright, right after the fleeting time, he goes for the Dreadnought armor, goes for the robe, and for Bankai as well. Despite the War Exter, he still gets it, and he's on the way to the Queen's Wings, which we've been talking about, right? If you want to still have that spellbound, you can go with War Axe and then Queen's Wings, and then you're good, man. That Queen's Wings got buffed like quite a bit.
Yeah,
It's the 8%.
Yeah, it's a great surprising late game item. Like if you slot it in at either 3rd or 4th, the opposing team just wonders, wait, how come this guy won't die? Please build Queen's Wings if they're an EXP league.
Yeah,
so
That's why Junichi was able to survive so many times.
Yeah. He was really, really strong up in the XP lane. But yeah, Emblem's nothing really out of the ordinary, except the fact that Katsu brought that playstyle together, maybe just to speed up Purify.
I'm not a big fan of this, by the way, right? Like, I think it's cool if you go pull yourself together when you're on Flicker.
Yeah.
But when you're on Purify, I think the cooldown's already short enough.
Yeah.
Even though obviously you want it, I think there's definitely other choices here that could push him a bit more in the laning phase.
Yeah, and I think we've seen enough also that when it comes to Kaleas and they see like a slow trotting roamer right in front of them, they'd rather just Tsunami Slam that.
Yeah.
Because there's a high chance you actually get to take that down. That even if you're not catching the mid laner, because the opposing roamer gets taken out right away by the Kalea, then the mid laner can barely do anything.
Yeah, and I think Bright wasn't really even targeting Katsu.
Yes.
And in a few circumstances, he was mostly focused on the box, baiting it out, or the roamer too.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, Bright had other ideas.
And I think this is the last thing for me as a marksman player myself. I love the Brody Master Assassin when I'm playing ranked games. You know, when I know I can dominate my lane, I'll go for it. But up against the Harith here, I think Weapon Mastery would have been a bit better. And considering how ZETA Division kind of formed their composition, it's more of a, let's play strong side Brody, let's go for sieges. So it's you playing with the rest of your team. And therefore losing out on the value of Master Assassin. Aside from like the first 2 minutes of the game, I don't think we've seen Muimanet constantly just solo laning against the Harith.
Usually it was the other way around.
Yeah.
It was actually the Harith pushing into the Brody's lane. And then constantly, once the Brody just thinks, okay, I'm back, I can lane. Nope, you cannot. Because the rest of the opposing team has already gone into your lane. So hopefully we get to see some recalibration here. Some major ones from ZETA Division. Speaking of some recalibration, you can honestly do some your own recalibrations as well for yourself, because you can check out the AI insights from the Realme 15 Pro. It has win rate predictions. You can analyze gold, items, and everything in real time. It's like having a coach in your pocket when you play MLBB. Wait a minute, that's really cool.
So it's like Coach Jeb. Here you go, Coach Jeb.
Coach handed your hand.
But with updated statistics, he can go and search up for you guys. And for you guys, from predictions to performance, it's the complete package. You can play, you can carry the Realme 15 Pro, the M7 official gaming phone, anywhere you go and ask him anything. Even outside of MLBB. It doesn't need to be MLBB. You can be like, yo, what is this drink that I want to go for? You take a picture with it, ask AI, boom, you have it.
AI is the future.
Real
Realme
me in the future.
is the future.
Yeah, get Realme in your hands. And of course, there are also Realme in the
real.
hands
Yo.
of our players here. Speaking of getting some good things in your hands, of course, it's the M Series. I mean, it wouldn't be a complete M Series without the Battle Pass, and the bonuses are already here. It went live on New Year's Day. It's packed with exclusive awards like the Granger Thunder Ascendant Epic Skin, the Cosmic Finality Prime Skin, the M7 figurine. I missed out on last year, but I want to get this one now. The Battle Effects and the Prime Avatar border, and, of course, a lot more.
I have vowed to make sure that I get my hands on that figurine.
Okay.
I missed out on the Claude, the Yuzong, the Beatrix. I need to get this one.
The best one is the Roger. I missed out on the Roger. That's the only one I missed out on it, yeah.
Oh,
It's the M3 one.
Again, I still like the value of the Claude one because you also had Dexter.
So
the one from last year was like I feel
two
like
for
that
one.
set the bar. Exactly, it was 2 for 1. And speaking of the other stuff you can get, there's also the Gata Kacha Solar Spark for free, the fan favorite M5 Yuzhong skins, and the revamped M Championship skins are also making a limited time return, so don't miss out on all the wonderful awards available for you in-game, in the client. Make sure you get your hands on the Battle Pass.
That's the Clint M2, right? I mean, the revamp ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, the M2 Clint, and then M1.
M1 Harith?
No, that's Evo's skin.
yeah.
Wait, what's the M1? Not what?
I think M1 was not Lunox, right?
I don't
Because
think
I remember Lunox was like part of the poster.
Oh.
You know, we're gonna have to revisit that. We're gonna have to revisit the previous skins that we saw for the M series. Now, we started off the day with a discussion about the meta. We have to watch out for it. We'll sort of define the meta from day number 1. We didn't get to see it picked, but the fact that it got banned right away, blue side priority. It's a head scratcher. I feel like that's already enough confirmation for the rest of the world to say, yeah, I think you do not want to give Sora away.
Yeah, I think we are going to be seeing Sora. Definitely, like, there's going to be one game that we're going to see it, and then that's going to remind everybody that this is why we've been banning it all tournament long, right? Let's not have a Bruno M6 situation anymore.
Yeah.
If it's broken, just ban it, y'all.
Take it out.
Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it.
Delete it.
And I think this time around, unlike M6, you cannot pick up a Layla to try and counter Sora. The Layla messed up the Bruno, sure, in that one game, but...
Never say never.
Never. Are you really want to die on this hill? Do you think Layla can actually take Sora down?
Hola.
Oh.
That's my answer because, hola. I don't know, man. Like, maybe they can pull off something, right? I mean, hey, earlier we saw what ZETA has, and it's unique picks, experimental. That's a bit too experimental. That's kind of local.
Mm-hmm. So, reel it back. Coach Ola, again, doesn't want to guarantee the results, but they have been scrimming with a lot of MPL teams and MPL Indonesia teams, and seems like he's confident as well. We've been hearing some whispers here and there about how they seemingly improved. Again, it's just unfortunate that we really didn't get to see the fruits of that labor in that game 1.
Yeah, I think the stage jitters maybe. Because Wildcard is a different ball game. M Series is a different ball game. You can be confident, you can be very comfortable in the scrims. But if it doesn't really translate into stage games, then it's just all, gone in vain. So hopefully ZETA can stabilize things and then go back to their winning ways when they were winning against MPLPH and MPLID teams in scrims. So who knows? Maybe game 2 would be their key to winning.
So I think we're in agreement with what we saw in game number 1. First off, not the Baksha. You changed that up. Mm-hmm. I didn't have problems with the Yuzhong. Again, he was good, so keep that. Would you consider stealing away the Kalea from Zone if you're ZETA?
I think so. I think that's the easiest answer to the problem because they banned out the Gadakacha, right? It was Gadakacha and then Lunox. So you want to pick up a Kalea instantly. Usually is the case after banning out Gata, but they tried. They were thinking of the Baksha. It is very prio. But again, if you don't know, if you can use it in the jungle, I think it's better off to just go for what's going to work 100%.
Yeah. Well, Dangerous Grass will be the map.
Kill the Helper?
So yeah, maybe we might see a few surprise picks that works well with the Dangerous Grass. The same set of bans rather for the Sora taken out and the Yves. Wow, will be taken out by Team Zone. So no Yves for Kenny and none for Katsuzu. Now the first pick Yisun Shin will go through for 10.
I like this. I mean, they don't have to worry about the Grok anymore. The Eve is gone as well. So it's a good, steady pick. They for sure knew that the Yuzhong would get picked up right away. Let's see if they recover, because this is a big gambit that they decided to go for.
Yeah, Gadakacha should come through here for ZETA Division, and after that, do you want to pick up a mid laner here, or do you just try to get a good matchup against the Yuzhong? But then, again, what is a good matchup against the Yuzhong?
Not a lot right now.
Not much. I'm thinking of picking a gold laner the first phase just to be safe, because it might just be banned out. Pick up a few safe ones, but that might overstretch too. So yeah, they go for the Gadakacha for the Kalea control.
Yeah.
And then one last pick here. Yeah.
You know, it's not blind anymore if they pick up a Valentina here. I wouldn't mind.
Oh,
okay. Of course. I mean, I would have liked the Black Dragon form, and then they also had the Tsunami Slam that they could steal, but I guess they're still going for the range and playing around that.
Wow.
Lancelot. I think Zone might want to eye out taking away some potential like Ruby pickup for ZETA. Oh yeah, there we go.
There you go. Instantly. By the way, Renmar already mentioned this, but Bright chose his IGN in tribute to my GOAT, XBTR by the way, Light, the player he idolized.
Chahil.
And I idolized too, my boy Chahil. Yeah, with the Yisun Shin of the Farsa, it'll be crazy greedy if you still go for a marksman here, right? So they're already thinking about it. All right, we're banning out the Ruby. And especially considering there's a Lancelot on the other side. Last time we saw a Lancelot on the other side and a Yisun Shin Farsa comp without a Ruby, I was mauling, man. I was mauling so hard. I believe it was GOTF, the FYG versus Aurora Turkey with Tianzi.
That Ruby is quite scary to deal with, especially when you go for heroes that needs to go in and go out. The micro CC really kind of throws you off. So that's going to be the Selena ban coming in from ZETA Division as to not play a few pick-off approaches. And now for Zone, pick up the CC.
So CC for deny pick? Is this purely for deny? Because CC and Gata could come through on the other side.
They will still go for the carry.
Oh, that's greedy.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that, man.
The Team Zone kind of lacks range, don't you think?
Oh, I think they'll have range here. They could still go Kimmy. No? I think it's all right here.
Yeah.
The Kimmy's going to be fine. And that Kimmy will be well protected.
Exactly.
It's going to be a lineup where Zone's carry is actually in the middle instead of it being in the side. I think Zeta, they just needed something tag. I don't want to see them try to like a Hilda or anything. It's going to be slow, but at this point, Glue brings the stability that they'll need because they picked up the carry and the gold.
Yeah, but even then, it's going to be tough if you go for the Glue. So they go Lapu Lapu. It's been nerfed. It technically got a double nerf because a core item of his also got nerfed. And it will be the Kimmy.
Yeah, it will be.
I like Zone's comp, man. It just feels like it's solid. They have the range with the mid lane. They have the damage and the dive with the Lancelot they use on.
Is Zeta gonna play for scaling? Because they're gonna have to concede the first few objectives, right? And
We
then
don't
they'll
want
play
to play
late game.
scaling.
Yeah, exactly. In this patch, you don't really want to play scaling, but the carry will be online when it needs and gets the items it deserves.
But then there's a vengeance on the CC.
That's true. But the Lapu Lapu can't contest that much from the objectives as well. So, yeah, it's kind of a paradox right now.
Yeah, it's as if Zeta at some point accepted the fact that they're not gonna have the best early to mid game, and they're just gonna go, "Hey man, let's hold out hope that we're actually gonna be okay. It's the lead is not gonna get uncontrollably large, and that we can keep it close." But that's a big if, and let's see if they can actually get that dream, almost miraculous-like scenario for the start of this game number 2, where it seems like Zone have their eyes set on ending this with a sweep win against Zeta.
A 2-0 in sight for the Mongolian team. Team Zone closely wiping the slate clean with a 2-0. Zeta, not the best early game, like we mentioned. So let's see if they can weather the storm and scale to the late game.
That's a big question in the early game, though. It is going to be tough, especially level 1 with Kenny just going guns blazing bright. Has to flick your Katsu. Went for the Purify again this game, so won't be able to go for it. Zexora is looking for the puncture in. We'll be able to find a bit of an angle there, but Kenny and Bright will have to back away. This might be a green cap take. Zexora all alone without the help of the rover. Connie's walking up now with no revitalize. Tay walks up. It will just be both teams disengaging.
Yeah, playing selflessly, helping to make sure that that green camp doesn't get stolen. And the emblems so far, weapon mastered for Kimmy. Nothing out of the ordinary so far, but Bankai pushed back.
Yeah, you also see there the benefit early on of just having the CC in the gold lane. That could have been a huge threat into the green camp, but then with a quick rotation from K, they were able to block the invade of Zeta. I think it was also just really good understanding by Bright the limit of the Kalei, knowing that he had just a little bit enough of that passive to keep him alive, even though he had to force his picker out. At least he didn't give a kill away to Zeta.
And Zeta Division actually in the early game had quite strong damage in the mid lane. I mean, the Farsa really contributes that much as well. They were closely taking down Bright.
Yeah.
Bankai needs to check the tennis here. Be a take, but it's a use on. It's not easy to kill.
Really good wave by Zeta here, holding it in. And I don't think Bankai will hit level 4.
Yeah, that's a good freeze to kind of deny that. And they will send Bright down bottom to break the freeze.
Yeah.
The Chakra.
Oh my god, they're doing a lot of damage. 10 is caught first blood. The dude Ichi, but Bright got the kill on the jungle. Zexora with the puncture away from the taunt. And that really halts Zeta's tempo.
Oh, wait. Zora, gonna be risky there. I think 10 got way too close. He was excited to get that Mountain Shocker stun off, but Bankai said, I'm in the bush. You really want to do this against me? I get to use Jong with my Petrified?
But this kind of breaks the chain and kind of the pattern we talked about that Zeta's early game will not be the best. That Lapu Lapu was able to bag 2 kills, which means it will be quite fast to contest the objectives. Uh-oh. Right? Close by the Katsu. Wings by Wings will save them.
Good save on the Purify. Stays patient with it. And already walking back up. Zexora gonna build up the stacks. That's a Black Dragon from him. That should be a free turtle already. Zeta Division. That was their window when they had the lead on Lapu.
Not gonna be the fun start the Zeta Division wanted, but let's see if they maybe somehow could. They still have it in them to pull off a surprise pick, but it's going to be a little bit harder now because Zone seems to be just committing a lot of rotations together as a team. The Kalea and the Lancelot actually doing a lot of work to make sure that Kenny gets farmed fast.
Hand cam by Real Me. As I believe is Zexora's hand cam.
Ooh.
Very, very quick. On the Lancelot. Get those blades going. But yeah, so far, Team Zone is able to stabilize that lead that Zeta Division was able to get. But that was only to Junichi. So again, it's Junichi always becoming the anchor for Zeta Division. It was in the previous game, it was with the Yuzong, and now with the Lapu Lapu. But let's see, how far can he go with the Lapu Lapu? With the Yuzong, it's very easy to rotate. It's very easy to be close to proximity with your teammate. But as a Lapu Lapu, you kind of have to stand your ground by yourself. And so it looks like Zeta Division, they kind of want to take down TC, but it's not the best.
Okay, it's going a little bit better here for Zeta Division. You have the comparison of the items. Any interesting things that y'all want to point out?
Yeah, CC and Lapu still going for War Axe first. Yeah, I thought the Fury Hammer will be built up first by K and then into the War Axe, and same goes for Junichi here. But it's still just going to be the War Axe rush. I don't know if we're going to see different itemizations later. But Kenny will still be on the Glowing Wand duty. So is Katsu. They're still going to stick with the Glowing Wand. All right.
Well, I have a question, though. Is this just them saying, yeah, it's still okay? Or is it them kind of out of touch with the meta?
I think it's because of how the composition looks right now. Like, they just don't have gold on the roamers to build up the dominance quickly. So they still need that early anti-regen from the mid lane, who's getting more gold. So technically faster build up.
Seems like these songs have a lot of priority. Oh, right!
Wow. That is Purify burnt out. But Kenny has to burn out Flicker.
Yeah. And Bright did not come into Tsunami Slam. That was Katsu burning his Purify as a freakish reaction to it.
Yep, turtle tape now. Kani will be close by. And zone out the players of Zone. But look at K. So much damage. Black Dragon form in the back.
The taunt as well. Tsunami Slam coming down as well. Thorn Rose, the Retribution with the Petrify. The Black Bot Kai was able to peel for the team. And that means Kenny is free to hit them all. Moving that flow. And K gets the pick on Katsu.
Beautiful front to back from Team Zone. I thought that was going to be the end of them because Bankai was taken down 10. I play Zexora. He's going to go for the bunker.
Oh
my lord.
A little bit of a oohs and ahs from the crowd with 10 being able to get away just in time. And if Zeta Division aren't careful, Kenny is going to have to add an S at the end of his name because he's just going to keep popping heads here with him being able to freely free hit. Freely hit.
Oh my. Speaking of crowd, we do have quite a bit of a crowd here. I'm wildcard teams. We do have a guy with the Onyx jersey as well, Onyx merch. I think he's looking for Onyx next opponent.
Could be.
He's scouting for the community.
Yeah. Community report. Somewhere.
And now it really gets tough, by the way. They don't have a single objective. They haven't been able to trade because they've just gone to fight around these neutral objectives.
Mm-hmm.
There needs to be a lot more talking as well from Junichi and Kani. Similar to what we saw from Zone, where Bankai and Bright seem to be alternating in terms of maximizing all of their crowd control. Zeta needs to do the same thing because it seems like Jun and Kani are just going, hey, we both see an opportunity, so we'll both go for it. But that makes Katsu sad, that makes Muimin sad.
Gonna have to move as a unit now. Wings by wings.
Yeah, I don't know about using the resources on K here. He has the Vengeance pops it. That is all. 4 ultimates, man. And they get a turret up top? No, just a bit of damage.
Vixora is gonna push it though. Creates a segue play up top, and Bankai will gonna cap that for a full buff. But
Oh, they're gonna
on
get the
seventh
turret.
minute-
Oh, that's painful.
Yeah, on the 7th minute, that's pretty quick.
Yeah, that's not the trade that you want after getting a high-profile kill like that. It's you being too greedy to try and get a kill to balance things out, but then Team Zone making even a much better macro play across the map, and that is going to mean every objective on this side of the map is going to be a hard time for ZETA Division every time.
Yeah, no control here. Hold on, Turtle. That's going to be the Tsunami's time. Lock him down. Katie with a lot of damage. Again, Zexora with the red trick. By Furious time. Baiting out the Pure by from William. That's Zexora in the back. Again, punctures away. While the backline was distracted by him.
This is so beautiful from Team Zone. So flexible. They have the front to back with the Kimmy and the CC, and then they have to dive too with the Lancelot and the Yuzong. Okay, look at K just hitting 10. Almost beating him to a pulp. So far, Team Zone, they have control. So much.
Double bump.
That is not going to be good. 10 has been starving and now will continue to starve in this game for buffs and resources. While Team Zone can just keep up the aggression. They're playing the macro really well. Again, we did not get to see the interchange of crowd control from Kani and June. It was just all dive, all go, and that made it easy for Bankai to set things up. Even though there was an initial 2-for-1 lead in favor, actually, of ZETA Division because of Zexora's easy dive straight to the back, that lead just immediately went away.
Exactly.
Adam build. Bankai still at the 100 strike, so not really going for the War Axe. He's gonna need more damage for that. Sky Piercer, though, for Kenny. At least he's gonna farm it, but still on 2 kills. Fraction pulse.
Oh my god, they're gonna go. Whoa! Alright, on to Junichi. Yeah, instant AOG. William Net punishes way too overzealous Bright.
So far, Zexora has been functioning as kind of like a split pusher. With the Lancelot activating the far lanes, and that kind of makes it a division quite wary of those side lanes. They kind of they have to address a few members up top, down bottom, but so far it's working for Team Zone. Like they have prio down bottom and then up top too. It's gonna be a slow push building for them.
Yeah, because of the constant split push by Zexora, it's like they can afford those little wait, what are you doing, place? That we
Compensated.
an example of they're compensating.
Yeah.
You know? It's part of the game, right? We've always been saying that. It's just trading. Make sure we're getting a good thing if a bad thing happens. So, but maybe they want to minimize the bad things just a little bit.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe
Not too good, yeah.
not too good.
Sometimes good, sometimes well, shout out to the football fans for those.
That is a big traction pulse, buddy. If it gets Junichi, your frontliner, that much HP, K mentions. William Net's jumping on him, but he doesn't care. Reload over Junichi. That's an AOG. Oh no! Kenny's just coming over for free hits. It's Zexora jumps the puncture in the back. William Net's low. Throw rose by Zexora doesn't even need to land the puncture for the reset.
Beautiful reactive flicker from Kenny. Farms down the players of ZETA Division. This Kimmy hurts a lot. Let's take a look at that mid turret taken down. They have the Lord up top too. Win rate prediction by Realme 15 Pro.
That is very generous.
Yeah.
62%.
Oh, there we go.
Now.
Okay.
Real time.
That's
By Realme.
That's fact.
That's a little bit more accurate. While for Team Zone, man, they've we talked about experience. The experience of Zexora alone from ZETA Division's overall experience, and I feel like that's what we've seen this entire series so far, especially in this game after with him on the Lancelot and leading the charge.
And he isn't even that flashy with the Lancelot in this game. He's structured. He's activating the lanes. He's playing it on a much more macro, point of view. Efficient, like you said.
Okay, that's the Tsunami time over on Kanye. The AOG gets him out of there. That means it's going to be free for Zexora. They jumped into the back line now. Purify out from Boy Minette. The mounted shocker doesn't land. Zexora still having the resets. Will be able to go on 10. Oh, one more basic attack. But with that, that's enough Tony to get a mid-turret down. Boy Minette able to dash away from the traction pulse. 10. Trying to clear the wave here. But effect of that 10. What? He jumps in with the Traceless onto 4 of Team Zone's members.
A defensive tool used offensively without any follow-up. That is a misplay from 10. Not the best series for him, but this game
that was a fat finger
engraved
moment.
it even more.
For sure.
Fat finger moment. Yeah, might be.
It has to be, right? There's no way you would intentionally dive into 4.
That was definitely more like a 3 than a 10. Sorry, 10. Well, we saw it. Got him 4K. Could be jitters. Could be experience. Who knows? Again, the early to mid game was handled a little bit better by ZETA Division, but then over time it was just Team Zone showing up. based on everything that we've already seen from Game 1, just how well that they've been playing now, ZETA, the recovery here has to be drastic.
Yeah, no purify on but that. Oh my god, tossed around. Connie trying to survive now, puncture in. They're going to take it as slow as they can. They've already got 2 base turrets, and usually that's enough. But teams don't want to end the game, I feel. That's a mounted shock and landing. Broadcast able to escape. Now Connie's becoming the mobilization as Sora jumps into the back with a puncture again. That's some execution. Sora not landing. Connie falling to the sky piercer of Kenny, who's now unstoppable. And they are going to stay in the base. Academy in open as Sora with zone rolls again. Tsunami slam over. Kenny is a monster in game 2. A 10,000 gold lead. Kai tries to go in, but will finally be punished in team zone. Will finally be pushed out of the base.
They're gonna have to go back because they have no minion waves pushing for them. They're gonna go for the Lord. The wiser choice. Instead of going and forcing the end up top, it's going to be defended by ZETA Division. They are still yet to crack that turret wide open for Team Zone, but they will play it meticulously. They play it slow because they need this win.
Sort of those scenarios where ZETA Division are banking on a Team Zone mistake. That's really the only way that they can get back into this. Of course, if someone from Team Zone has an error, then ZETA needs to capitalize on it. But with a lead that Team Zone has, easier said than done. And I also don't see teams don't make mistakes before at this point in the game. They know they have the lead. They have done everything right so far for, let's say, the past 6 minutes. No errors.
Not at all.
Yep.
And it's a 10,000 gold lead, really, right? Like, it isn't just going to be a mistake. It has to be like 5 members in the fountain type of mistake for this to be turned around. Oh, yikes. This looks like it's going to be the final siege of the game, man. Black Dragon form already, Moimanet. Oh, we saw a lot of damage when he gets petrified. Attraction pulls as well. Sora in the back, zoning him away. Kind of doing a good job to fade out the aggro of the Lord up top. But that means the base turret will fall. And like a tsunami slam. 10 will fall. That's an AOG. Oh, Sora down. Moimanet still doing a lot of damage. Wait, this could be it. Hold on. But Kenny fully stacked up on the Sky Piercer now. Kenny in the back. Another for Kenny on a triple. Winter Crown by K. As Kenny buys the immortality, might be looking at stat pad a bit more as Moimanet jumps in. But it will be a clean sweep for Team Zone in the opening match of the M7 wildcard.
Breezing past ZETA Division. The players from the land of the rising sun still dull with their swords, unable to slash down the Mongolian team. That's Team Zone, zoning out ZETA Division.
One thing we were talking a lot about when it comes to Mongolian teams is that they are fearless. They are so brave in the game of MLBB, even though at times you'd think, why? Well, they will show you why. They will get results with it, and that is an incredibly great result to start off the M7 wildcard, a sweep over ZETA Division. I really feel like the leadership of ZXORA here, again, the story that we've mentioned about him, the growth that he's had from the Little Gun days back in M5 to where they are now. I like what I saw from Team Zone.
They're looking good, dude. Like, again, this is finally a safe place to say we're getting Lil Gun vibes. Because every time that we see the Mongols, we're like, Lil Gun vibes? Maybe. But this time, they look clean. They know what to do. And is it safe to say Kenny has gotten double MVP now?
Yeah,
he's match MVP for sure, right?
He has to be. It's not going to be Kenny, then again, maybe ZXORA, but because of him being, as you both mentioned, being a little bit more precise and technical with his approach on the Lancelot, well, it was Kenny who was more of the linchpin in terms of the damage. Six kills heading into that last fight.
Yeah. Can we give a shout out to the rookies too, right? Brian, Kenny, we talked about them possibly having the stage shitters, and if they don't, it might be the overconfidence that kills them, but so far they have been playing this very, very meticulously. It was calculated. I think the only blunder they made so far in the series was that bottom side tower dive.
Yeah.
With ZXORA leading the charge. So I think that's the captain kind of persuading them to go in and go deep. But other than that, it has been so clean for them. But this is their first test. It's only ZETA Division. Sure, ZETA, compared to other wildcard teams like we talked about, won't really be up top in the rankings. You know, if you talk about Virtus Pro and other teams. But this is a good start for Team Zone. Let's see if they can hold themselves together against better teams that are on.
Yeah, and if you